Hey guys, welcome to Island 1. Go ahead and grab your hero, set her on strong, and then we're going to start. If you have the monkey knowledge, go ahead and put your free dart. Start out with 2 boats. Each boat is going to turn to a 3-2-0. Start out with a 2-2-0 boat, mark it on strong, immediately upgrade to the destroyer, and then you're going to do the same thing with your second boat. It's going to be a 3-2-0 marked on strong. Once you get the second destroyer, immediately throw down a boomerang on here, and what we're going to do is we're going to create multiple boomerangs. All of them are going to be 0-4-2 and mark these on strong. Right when it gets ready to go immune to military on round 9, sell one of your boats because we really want the ability ready for the boomerang once it goes immune on here. And immune to military, we're going to go ahead and sell the other boat, and we're going to kind of spam these boomerangs here and make sure that you mark these on strong and use their ability as soon as they refresh on here. It's going to do a lot of damage on here. I am going to throw out a druid. It will end up being upgraded, but you can start out with a 1-3-0 on here, and then you're going to go ahead and just keep spamming these boomerangs on here. So they're all going to be 0-3 or 0-4-2s on here, and mark these on strong on here. And then we're going to then transition to boats, and we're going to add some boats on here after, but still we want to do the boomerangs since those are going to give us the maximum damage while it's immune to military. We are going to transition to boats, and these are going to be 3-2-0s, but you are also going to see me place a sub for camo detection. So I'm going to place this first boat, but then I'm going to put sub in here and make it a 4-2-0 on here, and then transition back to the boats. I'm going to put 3 boats total. 2 of them are going to be 3-2-0s and one's going to be a 4-2-0. What we want to save up for is going to be a T5 spike, but we want to wait until it's unimmune to the support on here. So what we're going to do is after you upgrade one of these to a 4-2-0, go ahead and start your spike. And then once it goes immune to support, we're going to sell all of those boomerangs. And if we need to, we will sell the boats as well to upgrade to our T5 spike, because that's going to be our main defense to start out. So you're going to see me when it hits to immune to primary on there, sell everything. Until then, just make sure you're using your abilities. On there is a refresh for the boomerang monkey on here. And then immediately as it goes immune, we're going to sell all of the boomerangs, and then we will have to sell just a few of the boats on there, and then we'll end up rebuilding. But once we create the T5 spike on here, what I suggest doing is upgrading your druid to a T5. So I'm going to transition and upgrade the druid to a T5, and that will be a 1-5-0 as well too. It's going to help with balloon cleanup as well on here. So we're going to go ahead and get the Spirit of the Forest next on here. And then immediately after we get the Spirit of the Forest, I'm going to do a T5 Ice Monkey. It's going to be a 4-2-0. And once I create that T5, I am going to place a helicopter so we can move the T5 Ice Monkey. And it's going to be a 2-4-0. It's strictly just to move the Ice Monkey as the boss moves as well too. And then we're going to start creating multiple different darts on here. We were going to create a T5 middle path because it's going to do a lot of damage. So while you're saving up for the T5, you can go ahead and start placing dart monkeys all around it, because when you use the ability, remember they all turn into super monkeys on here. So that's what I'm going to do now, but you want to upgrade one of those dart monkeys that you're placing and make it, you can make it a 2-5-0, a 0-5-2, whichever one you want, and mark it on strong. I forgot to, but if you mark it on strong, it will help as well too on here. And then constantly use your ability for the primary monkey. The other thing we want to do is make sure you move your Ice Monkey. So if it moves out of range, go ahead and move your Ice Monkey as well. But the next defense, what we're going to be working on is going to be a Mad. It's going to be a 2-5-0. Just make sure that you move it with the boss to target the boss. After we get the Mad, we are going to start preparing for our Dart Monkey. We're going to make it a paragon on there, and you will see where we'll do that. But first, we want to go ahead and grab the Mad, because it is going to have to go immune to primary again. We don't want to create the paragon just yet because it's immune to support and it's going to go immune to primary next. So we want to wait until after it goes immune to after it goes immune to primary one more time on here. So that's why we're just going to start preparing. So once you create your mad, start creating your T5 dart monkeys. If you have the monkey knowledge where you can create T5 bottom paths, go ahead and do that as well, because it will boost your paragon. You can kind of place these wherever. The one that's by the boat is where I'm going to actually create the paragon on there. But until it goes unimmune there, we can kind of build some extra defenses until there. So that's what we're ultimately saving for. Once it goes immune to unimmune to primary, we'll create that. But I would suggest throwing out a super and making it a 205 just so we can quickly get through this primary round on here. And so that's what I did on there. And then I'm just going to use my abilities and then be prepared for when I create my paragon on here. So immediately at round 90, once it goes unimmune to primary, we're going to kind of sell our towers. I would start with the military because it's going to go immune to military next. So you can sell your mad first, and then you can sell the super monkey if you need to, whichever towers you need to sell in order to create your paragon, essentially. So you'll see me do that. Make sure you mark your paragon on strong as well too on here. And then once you do this, you'll get through the majority of this. This is going to get you to round 130 on here as well too. After you create your dart paragon, you can essentially start rebuilding your towers on here. So I created a T5 boat, and then I created a T5 ninja monkey as well too, kind of help for added defense. And then you will also see me place 2 of the dartlings. 2 are going to be T5s. I'm going to do a 250 to start out, and then I'm going to do a 520 as well too on here. After it goes unimmune to primary, you can sell the dart paragon to create additional towers, or you can try to get through it and then move on to the next one on here. This is the very first attempt that I did, so I left the dart paragon on here and tried to create towers to hold me until it was unimmune on there. But you can actually save up and sell your towers and create a boat paragon. So after it goes immune to primary, you can sell and then save up for a boat paragon. That would be a good option as well too on here. But I wanted to see if it could make it through. On this attempt that I did, it did get all the way through unimmune to primary, but it got towards the end on here. So just make sure if you're like me and you leave out the dart paragon that you start preparing for the next time that it goes unimmune to primary on here. So you'll definitely want to place a T5 spike out, and you can make it a 520 and then use your ability, your plane ability, helicopter ability to move your T5 spike on here. If you do leave the dart paragon out like me, like I said, you're going to need a ton of defense. So I'll also throw a T5 wizard out as well too on here. But that's it. This is a really easy strategy. Even if you want to be super lazy and not do anything after you create the dart paragon, you can easily get 120 each time on this. So you could just let this run out and you'll have 120. But if you really want to try to get a higher round, then you could start building, selling dart paragon, creating another paragon. But for the first island, if you're just looking for a really high score, this is a great strategy to go ahead and use on here. And then I forgot to turn the accessibility down on this particular island, but going forward for the rest of the islands, I will ensure that I make sure that I turn the accessibility down so you guys can see better. Please make sure you like and subscribe if you haven't. It truly helps my channel on here. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, and I will see you very soon on Island 2. Thank you guys for all of your support.